2023. Mike, could you call the roll, please?
Sir. Commissioner Vyers? Here. Commissioner Pacharich?
Here.
Commissioner Me? Here. Commissioner Kelly?
Here.
Commissioner Barrett?
Here.
President Fry?
Here. I believe today we have a presentation from Dan Leahy.
Yes, we have Dan, who's the Executive Director of the Western DuPage Special Recreation Association.
Hi, Dan.
Welcome, Dan.
Thank you. Good to see you all.
Thanks for joining us today.
My pleasure. Right here's the cover of our 21-22 annual report. This is kind of an interesting time for me to present because really I'm coming up on the end of my second year with the organization. This report highlights things that we did in my first year, and I learned a ton, but really just couldn't be more excited about the direction we're going now. We've done strategic planning. I've learned a lot. We have a lot of new staff. Mike's met some of them, and I think we're really headed in a good direction. So it's good to see. With that, jump right in here. There we go. So we serve our member districts in much the same way, but I do like to highlight some of the things that make our partnership with Wheaton unique. We have obviously our Rec and Roll site at Central Athletics. We do programming at various Wheaton sites. Theater and drama is big in this community. Social club, summer camp. I get the privilege of serving on the Play for All Foundation Board, so learning as I go there, and that's been really satisfying. Sensory Garden Play Days, the Charlie Long Classic Golf Outing's been tremendously successful at Arrowhead, so we're looking forward to that again this year. We have 3 foundation members that serve on the WDSRA Foundation, which is a really active and beneficial organization. They raise $500,000 to $600,000 a year in donations and in-kind, and to see 3 Wheaton residents there, and obviously the history that Jane Hodgkinson had laid some of the groundwork for that, but we're very happy to have those individuals. And then we do disability awareness for any of our partners, either for you or a corporate partner you might have, looking at a workspace or just trying to provide more adaptive, inclusive environments for all. And then I don't have the bullet point on there, but a quick shout out for Director Bernard and Director Beyer. During our strategic planning, they were generous with their time and their ideas and their feedback in helping shape where WDSRA will be going. So director activity highlights, these are just some of the things that I've gotten to do in my role that I think a lot of directors do in terms of trying to be in front of legislators, going to NRPA, IAPD, IPRA functions. And then, some of the fun stuff, I went to Special Olympics USA Games in Orlando, saw 3 of our athletes win gold medal. They were part of Team Illinois, so that was really special to be a part of. I like to get out to all of our sites and do shadowing and see how our staff are providing those inclusive experiences along with your staff and your programs. And foundation advocacy, which I mentioned, as well as strategic planning, which will guide us from 2023 to 2026. Little fun factoid, 2026, I'm starting to sprinkle this out there. That will be WDSRA's 50th anniversary. So we hope to have a little bit more of a splash and some plans around that. Some highlights from the past year organizationally in our programs, athletics, and our day program. We received the GFOA Award for financial reporting. We were named the best of special rec providers in the western suburbs by a media outlet. On the recreation side, we really retooled a lot of programs and processes to account for family feedback.
Welcome.
Let Ray get seated here real quick. In athletics, I already spoke to this a little bit, but we're really fortunate we have success at the state, the national, and even the international level in Brazil, whether it's bocce or wheelchair basketball. Adaptive wheelchair basketball is something unique that we do, and we see really good results from our participants. And then in Rec and Roll, we have some numbers there. Rec and Roll is our community day program that when individuals age out of the education sector, we are happy to take them on age 22 and beyond and provide that community, that daily activity, that group, to give them something to do and some purpose. The numbers there, if you can't read them, we're seeing a 20 or 30% uptick year over year in terms of requests and enrollment. And we just opened our 7th site in Winfield, so that number will continue to grow, but that's something that we want to have our eyes open to as far as opportunities for what that might look like out in the community as that continues to grow. Restore and rebuild was the theme. I think we can all relate to that a little bit. You know, we had to look at our spaces, how we're using our spaces, how we're working with all of you, what services we're delivering, and really staff. And you'll see on the next slide, staff's the big part of the story, right? And we can all relate to that. In terms of numbers, raw numbers, Wheaton accounts for about 1 in 5 or 20% of WDSRA program registrations, so the programs that we put in our catalog. And then on the inclusion side, a little interesting here, 6% of our inclusion requests, behind some smaller towns like Warrenville or Carroll Stream. I'm not sure what drives that, but maybe we need to work on our outreach to the Wheaton community to make them aware that if they have an individual that wants to take one of your programs that has a need, that we're the partner that can help make that happen. I always like to highlight one participant story. We hear stories like this all the time, but Sophie was an individual that had 4 diagnoses, anxiety, depression, autism, all clinically diagnosed, and she had been hospitalized 4 times, and her family was just communicating to the staff that they didn't know where else to turn. Nobody could, you know, relate to her or quote-unquote handle her. And somewhere along the line, the conversation led them to WDSRA. And then when Sophie started taking programs with us and getting in a regular routine and working with professionals who know how to communicate and interpret the behavior and use different modalities to communicate with the individual, just seeing a remarkable turnaround and response for the quality of life, not just for Sophie, but for the entire family. So you can see her words of thanks there. And then I like to tie in with that our scholarship program. We don't turn anybody away, and this is an area that we are growing and our foundation is growing. But oftentimes families of special needs individuals, whether child or adult, they're even more adversely affected economically because very often one caregiver or provider has to stay home or have a limited, you know, full-time or part-time working role to be that transportation person, that advocate, or that coordinator of activities, really. So we are proud of our scholarship assistance, and we handed out approximately, you know, $17,000 last year. And where are we going? What's next? Our strategic plan, the cover of it's right there, and that's setting the groundwork starting this May for the next 3 years. We'll continue to adapt, evolve, change where we need to. We want to grow our programs just in terms of raw numbers. We want to see more participants. Given the population density of the area we serve, I know we can do better in terms of our numbers. And then staff development, and I did leave that note out, but Mike's heard this and other meetings I presented. Around half of our staff are either brand new to the organization or in a new role in just the last 12 months. So we're learning together as we go, and you know, it's been cool to have them in on the ground floor of the strategic plan, and I'm part of that new group. So, you know, we're gonna make this happen together. But with that, concludes my presentation. If there's any questions or feedback, be happy to listen.
Anyone?
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you.
Hey, Dan, what's the commitment so far for your annual event at the Abington on March 4th?
So the bash, I'm not sure in total number of seats or tables, but it's going really well. Our
Good.
sponsors are way up.
Cool.
And you all and our member districts have been a huge part of that. So
That away, man.
thank you for your support.
Good, we'll see you there.
Yep. Close this.
Thanks, Dan. I do not believe there's community input tonight.
If we could just wait 1 second, I wanted to get right.
Moving on. All right, moving on. We need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Well, Linda was going to do it, but she's handed it off to me. So I would move to approve the consent agenda as noted in our agenda packet. Items A through E, starting with A, approval of the disbursements totaling $576,003.65 for the period beginning January 11, 2023 and ending February 7, 2023. B, approval of the disbursements totaling $551,482.54 for the period beginning January 11, 2023 and ending February 7, 2023. C, approval of the regular meeting minutes for January 18, 2023. D, approval of the subcommittee meeting minutes for February 8, 2023. And finally, E, the general obligation limited tax park bond series 2022 post-issuance compliance report.
Second.
We have a motion by me, a second by Vyers. Any comments? Mike?
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Pacharich?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Abstain.
Commissioner Me?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrett?
Yes.
President Fry.
Yes. Moving on to new business. We need a motion for the apparel purchase for Cosley Zoo Recreation, Athletics, and Parks Department.
I move to approve purchases from Blue Sky Marketing in the amount of $18,704 and Linpro in the amount of $9,778.
Second.
We have a motion by Pacharich, a second by Vyers. Mike?
Commissioner Pacharich?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Me? Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrett?
Yes.
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
President Fry.
Yes.
Thanks for a lot of work on that by the staff.
We need a motion for the soft drink beverage sales agreement.
I'll move to enter into an exclusive beverage agreement with Pepsi Beverage Company effective March 1st, 2023 through February 28th, 2026 at a projected cost of $171,878.
Second.
Motion by Vyers, a second by Pacharich. Mike?
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Me?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrett?
Yes.
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Pacharich?
Yes.
President Fry.
Yes. Moving on to number 3, we need a motion for the Arrowhead Clubhouse exterior painting project.
Move to approve the bid from Muscat Painting and Decorating for $77,878 plus a 10% contingency of $7,787.
Second.
A motion by me, a second by Morrill. Mike?
Hey, Bob?
Yes,
Question.
sorry.
Maybe it's for you, Rob. I was by Arrowhead last week, and I saw some work up on the Arrowhead facility. Is that your guys or somebody else, or preparatory to this, or what?
Unless Andy knows anything different, we were doing a little work. We had to adjust the clock, and they're also assessing shingles.
Oh, okay, cool, thanks.
Bob.
Yeah.
And Rob, we're not going to take the unit costs, right?
That's right. We're not even going to.
We're not even going to put it in the contract?
No.
Commissioner Me?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrett?
Yes.
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Pacharich?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
President Fry.
Yes. Excuse me. We need a motion for the Cosley Zoo parking lot project.
I move to approve a professional services agreement for design and engineering services with Wheaton Company for an amount not to exceed $118,000.
Second.
Motion by Vyers, a second by Kelly. Any comments? Mike?
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrett?
Yes.
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Pacharich?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Me?
Yes.
President Fry.
Yes. Moving on, number 5. We need a motion for the Arrowhead Pond Shoreline Stabilization Project.
Yeah, I'll move that we approve change order number 3 in the amount of $5,380.53 to V3 for some additional shoreline planting work.
Second.
Motion by Kelly, a second by Barrett. Comments? Andy, what holes is this on?
4 and
Just a
8.
continuation
4 and 8.
from what was done last year, just a continue, okay. Mike?
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
We need a motion for Community Center Rehabilitation Project Phase 2.
I move to approve the contract with Direct Fitness Solutions for the amount of $8,000 for the Community Center Parks Plus Fitness Center Design Consulting Project.
Second.
Who got the second? A motion by Morrill, a second by me. Comments?
That $8,000 may be saved if we buy a percentage of equipment from the company that's providing the assistance to us. So if we buy a lot of equipment from them, that $8,000 may be zero. Depends upon what happens.
Okay. think this is
That's correct. Pardon me?
a roll call, right?
Sure. Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Pacharich?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Me?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrett?
Yes.
President Fry.
Yes. Moving on, new business number 7. We need a motion for the special event beer and wine sales.
I move to approve beer and wine sales within the fenced perimeter of Memorial Park for 2023 special events, Cream of Wheaton, Summer Entertainment Series, Wheaton Brew, and Seltzer Fest.
Second.
Motion by Pacharich, a second by Vyers. Comments?
Commissioner Pacharich?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Me?
Yes.
Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrett?
Yes.
Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
President Fry.
Yes. Moving on, reports from staff. Mike, any?
Just a couple quick thank yous. I certainly want to recognize Rob and the Parks Department team, as well as Dan and the Athletic Department team for an outstanding season with the 2 sheets of ice in the Central Athletic Complex. Believe it or not, we're probably within 2 to 3 weeks of buttoning that facility up for the winter. Thousands of residents have continued to enjoy that ice, and I simply want to recognize them for the outstanding work that they do to make that happen. It takes a lot of work. And on the subject of ice, I would like to recognize the Recreation Department and the Parks Department again for an outstanding special event earlier this month, Ice-a-Palooza. Many hundreds of folks enjoyed a great day. The weather was perfect for such an event, and so I appreciate the effort that went into making the magic that day. Thank you.
Question to Mike, Bob. Mike, as warm as it's been over the last week, have we been able to sustain the ice?
I think we've been pretty consistent. We may have lost a day or two in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, we've had a tough time staying open. The ice itself is holding, but it's been wet on top,
Yeah.
so we've closed at those times. We should be able to get through next week at least.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it's going to get a little colder, but those chillers seem to be doing a good job.
Department reports? John?
Yeah, I just want to make a quick comment, Mike, and for Alex maybe, on the reports on Parks Plus fitness. It's pretty evident from the report itself that the pandemic and the policy response has kind of wreaked havoc with our operation over there. I know we've had personnel issues as well, whereas golf really benefited, believe it or not, from the pandemic and for everything that went on. Is the exact opposite condition for Parks Plus. The contract we approved today with the consultant is the first step in trying to make some improvements to that facility. But my comment would be to, it's such a competitive environment, and it's suffered so much that staff spend a significant amount of time thinking about what maybe our competitive edge is for that particular facility, maybe incorporate that into what we're doing when we're looking at new equipment, and make an effort to try and reverse course from something that was basically forced on us, but nonetheless, it has been pretty devastating to what we've been doing over there. So that's my comment.
We agree.
Anyone else?
Thank you.
I know, right? Then I'm going to add a couple, which will be unusual. I want to recognize that our first ever pickleball tournament. We had, 24 participants? How did that go? Who would know? Dan?
Yeah, Matt Roble does a great job with pickleball. He's a pickleball ambassador. It's a trend right now,
No, sure.
and we're continuing to grow.
Thanks, Dan. Mike, are we still entertaining additional requests for more pickleball space, or no?
Yes, we have, with the Briar Patch Park redevelopment, which is partially funded by an open space land acquisition and development grant. This year, we'll see the installation of some additional pickleball courts, and we do also have included in the budget another another project where we would add more. We'll be bringing the park board a short list of location options for your review next month.
Cool. And Dan, maybe this is in your area. I just want to recognize the second wrestling season. Looks like we have even more participants than last year, so it's another growing recreational opportunity for our people. Good work, man. We've made the comments regarding the ice rinks, but you all did a great job in keeping that going. And I know it's been, a challenge for the last week or so, but it's been a mild winter. Can anybody give me the Cliff Notes version of the self-defense for adults program that's apparently new?
Again, that's coming through Parks Plus Fitness. Again, Alex is doing a great job there. And again, always continue to improve our services, revenue opportunities. And again, with that, Alex, found a vendor. And again, we plan to launch that.
And is this some kind of, hands-on type
Yeah.
training,
The
Alex?
premise of the program is to teach, well, it's directed mostly towards women, but obviously open up to anyone who's interested in it. But real-world self-defense type mechanics. Obviously, we've seen an uptick in violence, I guess you
Sure,
could say.
absolutely.
So when this was presented to me, he actually works as an AT as a physical therapist, but he's spent 10 years as in the Navy. So
Okay.
when he presented this opportunity to me about offering different types of self-defense tactics, it seemed like a really good opportunity to present to the older population, adult population, for those who are looking.
Good, I'll hook up with you at some point in time. I'd like to sit in on one of those and see what this trainer's doing. Shout out to Max Yoshikawa. He's got another certification, as a certified pool operator, and he's been doing a great job. How long has he been doing it, Mike?
He's been with us for 5 years. I think one of those years, of course, was our COVID blip.
Still going strong. And Mike, you already recognized the attendance at our Isapalooza. It was good, that's for sure. Again, shout out to the Lincoln Marsh team. We've got even, more programs and more participants. So, they're doing it. Once again, we've got one of our routine donors to the Cosley Zoo. We just upped the ante on a donation for the 2023 season by another $500. So can't beat that. And then, maybe last but not least, regarding other staff reports, I noted that the banquet team, Andy, hosted the highest revenue month in Arrowhead history. I mean, that's pretty significant. So obviously, we're still a popular venue, huh? And then, go ahead, Andy.
I said still doing well, yes.
Without a doubt, in history, that's pretty good. Having attended the Mad for Plaid, Mike, staff did another great job, and, there was a lot of people there. It was good. But Alex, for you and Dan, regarding the Parks Plus Fitness report, well done, and I especially appreciate the exec summary. I mean, it was pretty detailed, but I noted that, our member and personnel training numbers are up, along with our revenues, and, the fact that we're retaining 90% of the people that, take out memberships, and, we're only losing about 10%, I think that's pretty significant, so thank you. That's all I got.
Anyone else? Ray?
No.
Oh. No. Any comments on the board subcommittee reports or discussion? Okay. I need a motion to move into closed session to discuss appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, 5 ILCS 120-2C1.
So moved.
Second.
A motion by Vyers, a second by Kelly.
And we are recessing, are we not, Mr.
Yes.
President?
Yes.
Okay.
We need to take a
Yes, we do. Commissioner Vyers?
Yes.
Commissioner Pacharich?
Yes.
Commissioner Morrow?
Yes.
Commissioner Me? Commissioner Kelly?
Yes.
Commissioner Barrett?
Yes.
President Fry.
yes.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay. For the record, we're back in general session. I need a motion for the executive director compensation.
I would move to approve a 6.5% salary increase for our exec director for the 2023 year.
Second.
Motion by me, a second by Vyers.
Effective January 1st?
Correct.
Yes. All in favor?
As well. Yeah, all in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you very much.
Favor to adjourn?
Yes.
Everyone's in favor.